But I mean, the thing is, people have to sit down with me, people have to talk with me, people have to get to know me to any degree to get a sense of the kind of person that I am, guys. And once anybody gets a good sense of the kind of person I am, it would be laughable to think that I'm going to walk into a store and pinch something out of a friggin' store, you know. It's just not something that I would do. With the panhandling and bumming that's going on around town right now, guys, it's a massive, massive problem in this town, but it's a massive problem all throughout the country, as far as I can tell. I don't know. I have no idea, guys, if I'm going to end up homeless at some time in the near future. I hope to good God, with all my heart and soul, that things work out for me in such a way that I don't end up homeless in the near future. But should that occur, I have no intentions of sitting on the sidewalk panhandling all day long, guys. I'll figure out some way. I don't know, you know, like I'll have to cross that bridge when I come to it. But I won't put myself in that situation, that position, where I'm going to be a nuisance and a bother and a burden on society that way, and just give myself a bad image that way, sort of thing, you know. So it's just my general way of thinking, my general attitudes toward everything, that people just don't know because they don't know me. They don't want to bother to get to know me. People don't want to bother to get to know people anymore, guys. You know, we just look at people, just quick glimpses, and analyze people and judge people, you know. And if they don't look a certain way, if they don't look trendy, if they don't look as though they got money or whatever sort of thing, you just write them off. You just automatically write them off and think that they're just you know, probably bum, probably, you know, not worth bothering with or whatever. And you experience it all the time, guys. You sense it, you feel it when you're out around, when you're trying to connect with people, when you smile at people, when you try to talk to people, be sensible and civilized, and people can't give you the time of day, and you acknowledge people and smile, and they turn away from you and give you the hard looks and all the rest of it sort of thing. And you can almost sense what's possibly going through their minds, guys, you know. And so, I mean, I don't know if that's a commentary on society in general today, that it's just getting more and more that way, people just getting more and more paranoid, or, you know, if, you know, it is a matter of people judging a book by its cover, you know. But I mean, it's like these videos and having this channel, guys, is one way of me demonstrating to society, you know, for anybody that bothers to look at the videos and get into the videos and so on, that, and see how I conduct myself, see how I present myself, see how I keep the places where I live, guys. It's my way of presenting the other side of myself that the world just doesn't get to see, sort of thing, you know. So, and because, as I said, I mean, I'm on government assistance because of issues completely unrelated to addiction issues. And why people become addicts, I mean, there's 1,001 reasons, I suppose, as to why a person ends up as an addict. But I have said it many, many times before, guys, that you're not forced into becoming an addict. Like nobody pins you down to the ground and sticks a needle in your arm and pumps a drug into your system that your body is going to become automatically or almost automatically addicted to. That's going to crave that thing. I mean, you know, people do it to themselves. People make the you know, the willful choice to get on to hard drugs that, if they do any research, I'm sure you still learned it in school and all the rest of it sort of thing, that they know beforehand they're going to become addicted to, and it's going to ruin their lives, sort of thing. You know, so anybody can do that, guys. Anybody can come to that point in their lives where they decide that they're going to take that route to try to numb themselves to whatever pain and hurt and suffering that they're going through, whatever that might be, you know. And I mean, like, I can go into enough of my background life, guys, the way I was brought up, the things I was exposed to, you know, that in my humble opinion, I think my life story would warrant me becoming an addict at some point, or an alcoholic or whatever, a substance abuser, just to numb the pain of my life. But again, again, as I said, you know, I was brought up in a rural background, fishing village here in rural Newfoundland, and from a religious background as well. So I guess to a very large degree that saved me from a lot of that, guys. But I can't say that entirely though, because it's just the way my mind works. Even if I didn't have that to fall back on when I was a child and adolescent and all the rest of it, I still don't think I would have, guys, because it's just the way my mind works. I don't know how to say it any other way. I mean, I knew about the dangers of drugs as a kid. We were taught it in school, the dangers of alcohol and so on, that becoming dependent on these things and so on. And once I learned the lessons and the pitfalls connected with it, sort of thing, that's all I ever needed to tell myself that that's not the way for me to go. Despite whatever happens in my life, despite whatever I have to face, that's just not going to be the way to go, sort of thing. And it never has been from my childhood up to this point in my life now, guys, pushing almost 60 years of age. So I share all that with you guys to help you to understand that we are not born into this life equal. Okay, it's as simple as that. Like that's just blatantly, painfully, achingly obvious. We are not born into this life equal. So some people are born into this life right from day one, guys, with all types of chances and all the benefits and all the privileges in the world handed to them on a silver platter. So they have their foundation set up right away to be able to succeed in life very quickly and attain a comfortable position in life, because it was made pretty easy for them, guys, and but others are born into this life with virtually every single solitary thing you can possibly imagine working against them. So for them to pull themselves up by the bootstraps, sort of thing, and to do it themselves and to make a success of their lives, when they're living in poverty, when they're not getting their basic human needs of life met, when they're not eating well, when they're not in safe, secure home environments, safe, secure living structures and all the rest of it, sort of thing, when they don't have good quality health care available to them, guys. So if they get sick, a minor thing can explode into a major condition that could potentially take their life, so on and so forth. The trauma of all that, the mental a nightmare, that you go through of having to live a life that way and still be expected to succeed in life anyway, when you've got another group of people having everything handed to them on a silver platter, a platinum platter, hand over fist sort of thing, so that life for them is made abundantly easy. It's a fact of life, but it's something that can be changed. It doesn't have to be the way that it has to be, So this is the basic fundamental importance, guys, of creating, then preserving, and strengthening, expanding upon, tweaking, whatever you have to do to make it better, but creating a social safety net where everybody in society, guys, benefits more or less to the same level. That is common sense. As far as I'm concerned, it's also good business, to be honest with you. And it's just the right, proper, friggin' humane thing to do, guys. So, countries that refuse to establish a social safety net in their countries, and of course, you know what I mean by a social safety net. That means that the government, the state, sets in place certain structures and certain programs and so on and so forth that the state itself pays for. I think we all got a pretty good idea what a social safety net means, guys. So that the disadvantaged, the underprivileged in society can have more or less the same or similar chances to all of those that were born into society with all the wealth and the privilege. It attempts to balance out the equation a bit more, And so that just seems to be so right and so proper, so humane a thing to do. If we want to create societies that are largely crime-free, that are largely free of all the other social issues that go with being in poverty, this is the way to do it. Like the state steps in. Those that can pay for it because they're in a position to be able to pay for it. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever, because they've had everything by birth handed them on a platinum platter, like I said. So, I mean, why should you just breeze through life, getting every single thing that life can offer you, and live this life of privilege and lavishness, while there are others dying in abject poverty with not even the basic needs met, when we have the capabilities to level out the equation, guys. So if you got a humane, if you live your life by a heart-based agenda, let's say, or a heart-based philosophy in life, where life itself becomes important, all life becomes important, human life, non-human life, like all life becomes important, and that's your primary concern, to maintain life at its optimal condition, then you don't have any problems with giving some of your wealth to programs that benefit other people. It's not an issue for you. It's like your conscience should, if you have a good sensitive conscience, we'll say, it should not have an issue with doing that. Because indeed, I would argue that those that hoard for themselves more and more and more, and live off the wealth that they accumulate, or that was handed to them as well, because an awful lot of people get their wealth handed to them to a very large degree, and you live your lavish life of privilege and all the rest of it, knowing full darn well that a huge percentage of the population of this planet live and die in abject poverty, but not even the most basic needs met. I don't know how your conscience can let you rest and be okay with yourself, living that way, So a social safety net is by no means, people like to demonize it. They like to say that it makes people lazy. And it maybe potentially can do that. I've said this before. But then we're not stupid people, guys. We shouldn't be stupid people. We can have social safety nets set in place, and then we can have the checks and balances set up in such a way, have the social safety net structured in such a way that it isn't taken advantage of, so that those that really desperately need it, get the basic things of life that they need to continue to survive and to continue to make some effort to flourish. And those who clearly are doing nothing to improve themselves and to kind of give back to society in some way, shape, or form, well, then we can set up checks and balances for such people, so that you don't become lazy. Now, I'm not quite sure what those checks and balances are, guys, how you would structure the program to be able to do that. But you don't deny everybody in poverty the chance to get ahead because you're fearful that a certain subsection of those people are just going to become lazy and be dependent on the government and not do anything to benefit themselves. Like that, it's not the best approach to take, to say, well, they have it black and white, is basically what I'm saying. So that... you just say to yourself that, well, they're just going to take advantage of the government, they're just going to become lazy and so on, so we won't have any social programs at all. We won't have any kind of a social safety net at all because it just makes people lazy. It's too black and white, guys. It's too narrow a perspective on such a complicated issue in life. Okay? Because as I said, we are all born into this life at different levels, different things working against us, and every single last one of us, guys, are different individual type of personalities. Like, we're that unique that each and every single person on this planet is their own unique living organism, that there's no other copy of exactly the same as that individual anywhere on the planet, sort of thing. So given that fact that we are such unique creatures, each and every one of us, you know, you cannot make creating a social safety net a black and white thing. Either you do or you don't, because too many people are going to take advantage of it and become lazy and sponge off the government sort of thing. You know, it's like it's far too complicated an issue, guys. So I'm finding myself here right now, guys, in a situation where I see things around me just gradually getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse by the day, by the week, by the month, by the year. I see things happening in this town, guys, that I never thought I would see in my entire lifetime. This is the capital of this province here in Canada, and it is becoming increasingly a ghetto town. I mean, I don't know how else to say it other than that. If you come to St. John's right now, guys, and you go anywhere around the downtown core of this town, it looks like and it feels like increasingly a ghetto. And that's because nothing is being done to improve the situation here. And the situation is multi-layered, guys. It's the huge influx of drugs coming into the province. How? I don't know. Why we're having difficulty in stemming the flow of drugs coming into the province, getting into the hands of needy, desperate people. I don't know. But it's happening. It's devastating lives. And then you're getting the outcome of that, everything connected with that particular problem. So of course, as I said, we're seeing more and more homelessness here in town. The numbers are just, I don't have the facts and statistics, but it seems to me like they're almost doubling every month. I mean, it's insane the number of people now that are either homeless or on the verge of homeless. I'm someone who's on the verge of homelessness. Or are just kind of gradually working in that direction that they could be homeless sometime in the near future sort of thing. Again, a huge part of it is drug related, but not all of it is drug related, guys. So this is what I'm saying, it's multi-layered. So we have a situation here in St. John's. We have a situation all throughout Canada, as exists in the United States and many parts of the world, where the government refuses to put a cap on rental rates. So here in St. John's right now, guys, for somebody to rent out